Let me be honest. Even when we worked together and knew each other before, I loved you. I loved working with you. You are amazing all around. And I knew that in this context, this is your thing, right? Like I knew that you were going to come to this with the same, if not more, energy and passion that you have other things, because this is what you do. This is what you've done.
Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. So if you watched my last video, you know that I recently quit my full-time job. And you may be wondering,
Chimdi, what are you gonna do with all this free time you have now that you ain't got no job? Are you just gonna make YouTube videos?
the answer is yes, and I'm gonna make YouTube videos, but I'm also going to be growing my creative coaching business. So I'm a creative coach, and what I do is essentially help people unblock their blessings and unleash their creative potential. And in this video, I actually have an interview with my recent client, LeKisha Jordan. LeKisha is a DC-based interior designer, and we actually met each other through my last job. And when we worked together, we went from her not even publicly claiming the title of interior designer to getting 2 paid clients within our 2 months together. So I am so proud of her. It has been such a blessing working with her. In a lot of ways, she really is my ideal client. And so if you're thinking about working with me, pay attention, all right? Listen to the way that she has approached this coaching experience and the results it's gotten for her. So first, let me go ahead and let her finish talking about how great I am. And I have to say, like, in editing this video, it genuinely was uncomfortable hearing so much loving praise being heaped upon me. So we're gonna unpack that in a separate video about how to accept love. But anyway, let me let her finish.
I got that energy. I felt that energy. You have a really good balance of pushing the accountability and being like, no, this is what we're gonna do, but also really making me feel like I can do that thing. There is a delicate line between those two, like being able to push someone aggressively, but do so that it doesn't feel aggressive and out of nowhere. You can so fully see people in the ways that they can't always see themselves. Even from our first conversation, we had talked about my creative work years before, but I feel like you saw for me what I wasn't seeing for myself, then pushing me there and encouraging me to get there and celebrating me when I was there. I don't know that I could have gotten that from anyone else in the way and with the energy that you brought it. And so I think working with you has been an absolute joy, so productive and efficient. Like I literally just cannot really in any sense of the word say, oh, I would have done this had you not helped me. I would have done this had I not entered coaching with you, because I think that answer is I absolutely wouldn't have. I probably would have just been doing what I was doing. I probably would have gotten here eventually, but not at the pace that I would have wanted to and not at the pace that I felt like I needed to be. And I think you saw that before I saw that for myself. Just interacting with anyone that sees your heart before anything else it just feels like home, you know? And I've talked about, I'm all about my vibe. I'm all about my vibe with my space and my people. I just think we vibe and it feels good and it feels uplifting, and like the resources that you shared with me, the books, the videos, different mantras that you have and ways to just sort of shift your mindset, I think have been invaluable across my life, not just in the design stuff, in the ways that I talk to myself, in the ways that I encourage myself, in the ways that I encourage my daughter, who I know we've talked about is probably going to do something creative. Hopefully a part of that is like seeing me lean into that too, and I credit you for that, because I don't think she would have witnessed this process and seen me as like a fully creative being that is living in my passion if you had not gotten me there.
As a creative person, I know what it's like to be scared about putting yourself out there. I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and I've made videos about it in the past and how you just really need to give yourself permission to do those things. And in this next clip, LeKisha talks about what it was like to wrestle with this fear when we first started working with each other, and more about why this was the right time for her and why interior design was the passion that it was time for her to start sharing with the world.
When we first started talking, I was scared. I felt the passion, I felt the burn, I felt the desire to move forward with my thing, but I was really scared to put myself out there. I was worried about what people would say, how people would react, you know, interior design. I think a lot of people knew that I was kind of into it, but not that it was something that I wanted to do more than than what I do full-time for work. When I was younger, my room was the place that I could make my own. Then having a family and moving into a house, I wanted my space to be our oasis. That is kind of how I approach design as well, is thinking about the functionality of the room. What is it that I need? The thought of putting my work out there, putting something that feels so near and dear to me and my heart out there for just public consumption just felt crazy. It just felt like, no, this is just for me in our house. So I think it was a lot of fear of just judgment. Would people accept this? Because that's just not what they know me for. My heart was saying go, and my head was saying,
this is the best time. Don't you want to do this first? Don't you want to have this full, beautiful Excel spreadsheet with a plan of how you're going to get from here to millionaire in 2 years?
Working with you, I really realized I have so much to be grateful for in the moment. I have so much that I want to share, that I'm excited to share. I have so much space for other people and their love and comfort in my life as well. If I'm not going to do it now, then when is it going to happen? If I'm not actively talking to and telling myself, you can do this, you are enough, you are awesome, you have got it. It's not for everybody, but it is for the people that it's for. If I didn't then and don't continue to have those conversations with myself, I would still just be wondering and scared of what people could say or could think. It felt really risky, but I know that something good will come out of it. Whether it's more people seeing my work, whether it's just friends saying, hey, can you help me? So I knew that something would come out of it. Even in the way that you reached out and we connected about this, it just felt like signs were coming from everywhere. Every step that we took in this process, every conversation that we had that was like, I hear what you're saying, but I also know that you can do this, or I'm gonna push you to do this, or think about this, felt like I was taking a risk, but a necessary risk for me to get out of the space of holding all of this to myself and really being able to lean into the career that I want to have and the work that I want to do and the work that makes me so happy.
So you might be thinking, that actually sounds a lot like where I am in my journey. What would it look like, Chimdi, if we started working together? So the process is very straightforward. First, we would hop on the phone together and have a strategy session to really understand where you are in your creative journey and if I can help you. And then from there, if we agree that we would be a great fit for each other, I would then ask you to outline both your short-term goals in the 2 months that we work together, but also your long-term goals, so we have a context for the wider vision of your life.
Writing down the goals, thinking about in a year from now, what do I want to look back on and say I've done, or even just over these couple of months, felt really ambitious, but it was also really exciting. I think I knew when we wrote down those goals, I could actually meet them relatively quickly. This feels scary, but this also feels doable. There was definitely that balance in the beginning of, oh, you're pushing me to do something I haven't done, but I'm here and I'm committed and I love the result. I feel so good about where I am outside of building this business. The way I talk to myself has changed, the things that I think about, how I shift my mindset in situations where I feel that fear and hesitation creeping in, and the way that I talk to myself. There's a whole internal dialogue that I have going on that is full of positivity and love and nurturing, and it wasn't before. It was very like, girl, you can't do that. It's not the right time. People aren't gonna be feeling that. And now it's none of that. It's, you got this, you are it. Girl, that design is thebomb.com. Talk about it. Get people's input, get feedback, be true to you, and continue to do what fuels you.
LeKisha actually talks a bit more about the impact that our coaching relationship had on other parts of her life when I asked her to share what advice she would give to other people who were in a similar position to where she was before we started working together.
Well, I think the first piece of advice would be call Chimdi, girl. you need some coaching and you need some support. What I would tell them are things that you have told me. You have what you need to be successful. You are enough. This is something that you were meant to do. You're waking up thinking about this. You're going to sleep thinking about this. Feels like your purpose, girl. Might want to lean into that. We've talked a lot about manifestation and really bringing to your life the things that you want and attracting the things that you want and the people that you want in your life and like what that looks like in real time. You've got this. You have all the tools in your toolbox. maybe you do need someone that can encourage you to use those tools, encourage you to bust out whatever it is that's been in your arsenal that you just haven't used in a while or have been too afraid to. But a lot of it really is your mindset. A lot of it really is mental. And I have realized over this process that I can get in my head to the point where it doesn't serve me. And it wasn't until and through your coaching that it was like, but you're there. Yes, you have to do work to get to where you eventually want to be. And I can help you doing that work. But ultimately, you are perfectly positioned where you are. And it's just about starting or taking, like you said, these little steps that are going to eventually turn into bigger steps that you can take on your own and move in the direction that you want to move. Prior to, I think even those little steps felt hard, but they were like the key to just cracking that door open just a little bit more each time. I've been on this fitness health journey. After our first wave of this process that I started at the beginning of March, and have used those same internal monologues to talk to myself about this process, like in a way that's like not just you don't need those gummy bears, but that is really like, you look amazing, you're great, girl. If you eat this, it's not even that it's gonna add fat here or fat there, but like you're not going to feel great. Let's make conscious choices about what you know your body needs and what's going to fuel your body to operate for you to be able to get through your days and your life with your kids and your family. And it was those same conversations with that balance of, you've got this, let's push through this, let's push forward a little bit more. And I think has also helped me to sustain that. It has been so transferable to so many different parts of my life.
There is a quote by Wayne Dyer: "Don't die with your song still in you." We are all giving gifts. A lot of us go a long time and maybe never actually sing that song that's on our heart. And so I was talking to LeKisha about the service, the process of giving ourselves to each other can just be so fulfilling. And she actually pushed back on me a little bit and said, while that's the case, there's actually more to it.
Yes, us serving is a benefit to others, but it also just makes you feel so good that you are fully giving what you're meant to give, sharing what you're meant to share, releasing what you're meant to release. When I'm at my full-time 9-to-5 job, I don't know that it feels good that I'm doing my job well intrinsically, or that it feels good because I'm doing my job well, thus I'm getting paid to do this job. It feels so good to be doing what I feel I am meant to do, and the fact that I get to share that joy with other people is just as much a driver for me as it is for other people. Like, it's just as fulfilling, if not more so, I think, for myself, to see other people fulfilled by what I'm able to share with them.
Hey y'all, real quick, it's Chimdi from the couch. Also, I was gonna wear these super funky glasses that I got from Amazon. Yes, Amazon is the devil. Stop making people pee in bottles, Jeff. That's not cool. Stop it. Man. Yeah, so these glasses are from Amazon and the link is in the bio. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to see more. Let me know in the comments, what's your creative passion? One, because I'd love to support you. If you're already creative doing awesome things, drop your stuff below because I would love to find you on Instagram, on your website, on your blog, on your YouTube channel, wherever, and just pour love on you. And if you're someone who is thinking, knows in their spirit, knows in their heart that they should be doing their creative joy, their creative passion, go ahead and drop in the comments what it is that you're scared of, because I could probably just turn it into a video and that would be great for all of us. All right, back to the video. So you might be thinking, okay, I'm starting to get that feeling that actually this is the right time for me. I should be doing something. But you might be like,
but wait, I'm starting from zero.
In my experience, there are actually a number of ways you're probably underestimating how successful you already are. I've talked to so many people where that's been the case, and the same was true for LeKisha.
So I was actually featured in Washingtonian magazine. They were doing a piece about how people were getting more into their spaces because everyone was home and working from home and doing all the things from home. A lot of my close friends and family have known that I've been into design for a while, so they would share with me a little bit more about their space. I would give them some advice. I had friends reaching out about, I have this very specific space in this very specific room. I need something. I don't really know what it is. I had a friend reach out for me to help her take a look at like different types of furniture that I what would actually look good in this space. The space is really boxy, so thinking about curves and adding dimension to the space so that your eye is really drawn there because it's something different and not, straight lines that you would get in the rest of the space. So helped a friend. It got a really nice bookcase storage unit for her dining room. I was able to share a lot with her just about functionality and design and what that means and looks like. And so as you're looking for something in your space, yes, it's great to look for the cool thing that is really going to draw your eye to it, but is it going to work for you? Like, this is your space. This is your domain. Is it going to work for you? When you open the doors on this bookcase or armoire, is it going to be hitting something? Is it going to annoy you that it's blocking, something else? Then I had another friend, my best friend, and now she's having a baby. I helped her paint the nursery, and it was my first time doing an ombre wall in the nursery. She loves it. I'm so happy that I got to be a part of creating this space that she is now going to bring her first child up in. I hope that she feels the love, and I hope that she feels the sanctity of that space, feels home in that space. From those two, I've gotten my friends to write some testimonials and talk about working with me, and I'm really excited to share with people. This is not just me painting my own house, which I'm glad you think is cool, but I also would love to help you. I'd love to help however I can.
A lot of what we're scared of is the fear of the unknown. I think LeKisha does an amazing job expressing what it's like to realize that the unknown is actually all these amazing things that can happen. I asked LeKisha if she could have imagined that she'd have the success that she was able to accomplish in just 2 months together, and this is what she said.
I could not have imagined that this was going to happen. I truly doubted that I was going to actually meet every task that you asked me to do, that I was going to be able to fulfill everything. There were a lot of things that I did, to your point, for the first time, but even behind that actual first time action, there were just processes that we set up of scheduling the posts and actually taking pictures and thinking about content and how was I going to actually now display this to the world. All of those things were first for me. I felt going into the process, I just don't want to get so scared to the point that I paralyze myself and I have to get on this call the next week and be like, I didn't. I really took to heart, how was I going to feel if I then had to say to you, but to myself, you had an opportunity and you missed it? Because I've had opportunities and have missed them. I've had those moments where I'm like, dang, I could have talked about this, or I could have said this, or I could have just posted that, and I think people would have really gotten a lot out of it or whatever. Those firsts were really catalysts for me to not only continue to move forward with my design work, but to just also think about how nothing is really impossible. I didn't see the outpouring of love and people really reaching out and saying, hey, do you offer virtual services? Hey, can I have you look at this space for me? When I was at my friend's baby shower last week, one of the girls that I had been helping pick out some things for her room said to me, can I just pay you to do this? Can you just come? I don't have the time. I trust your eye. I see the things that you post. Can we just exchange money and then we don't have to have this conversation anymore? And I was like, absolutely, we can 1000% do that, But I would have never imagined that just 12 Instagram posts of this is what I do would start that. I had zero idea that I was on a path to actually realizing my dreams. I mean, I know that sounds it sounds lofty, but it's so true. I could not have imagined that even the little steps that I've taken have actually amounted to a feeling that I so desired so long ago. It just makes me think, had I done this then, imagine where I would be now, right? Imagine what I'd be doing. Imagine how fulfilled I would be and, happier on a day-to-day basis. But I'm doing it now and I'm getting a taste of what that feels like, and I love it. And I don't want it to end, and I don't want to have any less of a taste. I want a full entree.
Yes.
Appetizer, dessert, all of it.
LeKisha is genuinely one of my favorite people. It has been such a joy working with her, and my goal is that I can get many more clients who are just like her, super talented, super fun, beautiful to work with, and just the vibes are just there. If you think you're one of those people, if you think based on this that I could really help you out, I would love to hear from you. I'm so excited to just have more people that I get to work with and get to support. So go ahead and send me an email at biz.chimdiihezie@gmail.com. We'll have a half-hour strategy call, and we will go from there if we are a good fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and let LeKisha have the last word. I asked her if there was like anything else that she wanted to share, and she just brought it back to the love and the support that people are in your life waiting to pour on you if you just give them the chance. I'll let her take it from here, but before I do, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already. I look forward to seeing you in my inbox, and I will see y'all in the next video.
I think I would say not to underestimate how many people love and want and have been waiting to support you. I don't think that that's something that I realized. I mean, I think to an extent you're like, oh yeah, but I'm sure this person would let me test out something on their wall, or might want me to pick something out for them from Home Goods or something like that. But like, it's something different to actually remind yourself that there are people that not only love and support you, but fully appreciate everything that you bring to the world, even if you're not specifically imparting it on them. And I think in that, you know, social media can be overwhelming. It can feel like a dangerous place to like test out something that you've been thinking about or working on. Not everyone wants to support you, and some people actively, you know, are on the internet to let people know that they do not support them. But you really do have people that are just happy to see you living out your truth in whatever way that is. And those are the people that you gravitate to. Those are the people that you hold on to. Those are the people that you go to say, I'm not really feeling this. Can you give me some feedback on this? Because there's already been an established lore of love there. So if you are feeling scary about that, like go to those places where you already know that you have that foundation. That could be scary too. I mean, to your point, I was literally asking my best friend to be my first paid client, and there was not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that she would be like,
yeah, girl, I don't know why you need to make this weird, but okay.
And I still couldn't, it still felt like,
so maybe Kenya, you know?
And she was like, yeah, girl, why are you being so weird? It was almost like I forgot that love has been there. Like, that's not going to change, you know what I mean? And like, why would she say no? Like, why would that even be an option, knowing that foundation of what we have is there? So I think even just remembering and gravitating to that, and some people will feel however they feel and express that in whatever way they will, but just remembering that there's a lot of people that not only love you, but want to show you love around the things that you are doing. And hopefully everybody else will just keep quiet if they're not